Using dowsing rods to find things that you just can't see, finding hidden things, is a really useful knack to have, particularly if you're into things like metal detectoring, for example. Today we're going to be looking at how to improve that hit rate, and we're also going to be looking at how time, the concept of time, actually has an influence on that success rate. Hello there, my name's Tim Walter. I'm a house healer and an alternative life coach. Welcome to the channel. This is where we work with our intuition to bring improved well-being into our lives. We work with things like dowsing, meditation, mindfulness, and the power of positive focused intent. It really is a thing. And if it sounds like the sort of thing that you are into, then if you click on the grey bell icon, then you'll get notified every time we do a video upload, and click to subscribe. And if you like what you see at the end of the video, click on the thumbs up, please. That really does help. Today I'm going to do my best to summarise this idea that although it appears that we have linear time, there is only now. It's a spiritual, powerful perception. But how does that work? And how possibly could that have any bearing on your effectiveness as a dowser when out looking for things? Well, it's all about this concept of now and the concept of time and where all of that springs from. In our physical dimension, we have the concept of time. There's no doubt about that. We have linear time. It exists. We've even tried to master it by breaking it down into fractions so that we can manipulate it and work with it. We've got years, months, weeks, days, hours, minutes, seconds, nanoseconds, and even smaller than that, we've got something, when we get down to the quantum level of existence, we've got something called the Planck length, which is named after Max Planck, the scientist that did a lot of work in the early days of quantum theory. But what's time got to do with finding hidden things? Well, we'll come to that in a minute. But ever since around 1900, when science really began to get hold of quantum physics, there have been many, many theories trying to understand how the seemingly random world of the quantum environment, without linear time as a basis, interacts with our laws of physics that we experience on a day-to-day basis, which is all built upon Newtonian principles. The two of them interact somehow. One of the popular theories that's gained a lot of traction is called the many worlds theory. And believe it or not, this is built upon the principle that actually it's not just one single world that we live in. It's built upon the principle that every time we make a decision, a whole new world, and in fact a whole new universe, is created that houses that decision and allows it to blossom, to grow. And so the many worlds theory creates what they refer to, what science refers to, as a multiverse rather than a universe. So the only way to perceive that is by considering yourself, your human awareness, as a point of awareness in a much, much bigger field of awareness. And that in turn expands out and connects through to the universe, the multiverse. So that answers the question, or it will do in a second, about how can the only relevance be the moment of now? Because if you think about it, if you ignore the human invention of hours, seconds, nanoseconds, Planck length, all we have is this experience. And all we are is an energy field within a greater energy field. And if the many worlds theory of quantum theory is right, then that information field, this perception of these information fields, travels through a much larger, infinite, I guess, information field, allowing the exploration of every single decision that is ever made. And we have access to that because we are a point of awareness within that multiverse. And that is how we can both experience our humanity and also experience the spiritual layers of the moment. And in that, we have tremendous power, because within the moment, We have our choices which enable us to jump from one area and one existence within that multiverse through to another, which gives us a whole new point of reference. We're not limited. We are only limited, as so many people say, by our beliefs. But coming back again, how does this relate on a practical level to somebody walking in a field to find a piece of treasure, some buried gold, for example, if you want to put it all in a very human context? The bottom line is that it is part of our connection to the quantum universe. Dowsing is part of our connection as a human being from this Newtonian world into the quantum world. We connect to the 0-point field in order to find information. And this is dealing with, in a way, the principle of non-local effects. Now that, again, is something that science completely accepts now. Not long has it been in popular acceptance, but it is more accepted. There are ways of affecting, of influencing in a non-local way. Some of the programs we'll make in the future will be looking at some of that. So if you're out in a field looking for some treasure, looking for some buried gold, or even just looking for a person that has gone missing, for example, the point is that you have to include time as a reference point, because in our dimension, if we want to find something in our dimension, it is a time-based dimension. How do we do that? It's really, really easy. All we have to do is to incorporate that time, focus and awareness into our dowsing question. So we simply say, if I'm looking for Fred, where is Fred now in this dimension? In the physical realm, please indicate where Fred is. And of course the same applies if you're out metal detectoring or something like that. You're out in the field, you're looking for something. You ask, where is the best possible place for you to start using your metal detector in this time frame, in this dimension now, here, present, so that I may find X, Y, Z, whatever it is you're looking for. Now that's a very practical and human-based way of using dowsing and of interacting with this aspect of being human that we really on this channel look at from a spiritual point of view. But we can also use it, as a philosophical point of view as well, and a very practical point of view if you're out in the field using the dowsing, and to think about the fact that not only are you looking for something, but also the fact that who you are as a human being in that process. I think you'll feel, and I hope you realize that as we start to look at some of this stuff in more detail, that actually what it reveals is the fact that human beings are far more than we have been led to believe we are. And we are far more than we think we are. In fact, we are only limited by what we think we are. So I hope it's helped with your dowsing, and I hope it's also helped you see a way forward in bringing more well-being into your life. And if that has been the case, then do remember to click on subscribe, click on the grey bell icon to get notified every time we upload a video, which hopefully more or less is twice weekly. Okay, so take care, see you next time, bye bye.